Good day. Welcome back to First Take exclusively on YouTube. Both Stephen A. and Shannon Sharpe. Welcome, Shannon Sharpe, to our YouTube stuff, but obviously you're already owning it with Club Shay Shay doing your thing.
Thank you.
All right, let's dive right into it, fellas. So Lithuania shocked Team USA, coming out victorious over the weekend, 110-104. Team USA unable to overcome a poor first quarter as Lithuanian bigs dominated Team USA, which highlights USA's biggest issue, the last two games, the rebounding. Against Montenegro and Lithuania, they grabbed the same number of defensive rebounds as their opponents did offensive boards. What is the deal, SA? Is Team USA's loss a big deal?
It's a big deal from the standpoint, number one, they were out-rebounded 43-27, so let's get that out of the way. That's obviously you need some size. It's a big deal to me because when I look at this, first of all, they qualified for the Olympics in Paris. Right. So we know that. They've already qualified for it. We got that part. What I concern myself with, Shannon, is that I tend to look at something like this and I measure it against the NBA season, which is where my interest lies.
Correct.
Okay? And so when I see a guy like Jaren Jackson suffering with foul trouble, I'm like, bro, you're so talented, you're so gifted. When are you going to learn to overcome this one thing?
Right.
Because you got to walk in there, to compete, but to also make sure that you're better served for it as the season progresses. Right. When the real NBA season comes. Not to say these doesn't matter, because international competition should matter. But I'm looking at it from the standpoint, you the Memphis Grizzlies. Think about it. You have Steven Adams last year. Right. You have Brandon Clark last year. We don't potentially see the outcome that we saw. Maybe the Lakers would have beat it, but I'm saying it would have been far more tougher, particularly for Anthony Davis, because you're going up against Steven Adams, who's just powerful, you know what I mean? And so to me, it's like, stay out of foul trouble because you're a formidable shot blocker and defender. Plus, you can put some points on the board. Stop getting yourself into these kind of situations. Make sure you rebound, you defend, and you stay out of foul trouble. And when I saw that, it bothered me. That's really it for me when I was thinking.
Well, I think the lack of size is the thing that's really troubling for the Americans, is because you only really have two bigs, Jaren Jackson and Walker Kessler. And those guys, and when Jackson get in foul trouble early, but it just goes to the level of talent. This isn't the dream team or the redeem team. And the competition that they're going up against aren't at that level that the original dream team faced. A lot of these guys that's on Lithuania, they either play NBA basketball or they play professional basketball. So we just keep looking like NBA, 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 but the level of competition around the world has risen, Stephen A. So we just send our C team, we'll send our D team and we'll beat. No, you won't.
That's right.
No, you won't, because most of these Lithuanians have been playing together all of their lives. They just put this team together 2 months ago. There's a big, big difference. So you got to stop thinking that you can just trot out, because they're in the NBA, trot out, and it's no knock, guys that aren't LeBron and Kevin Durant and Steph Curry, and just go around the world and just beat people, because you can't do that anymore.
Benches. Lithuania outscored USA 61-38. And USA came in to this tournament with everybody boasting about its depth.
The depth.
But you outscored 61-38. They were down 31-12 in the first quarter. I mean, 17-2 on second chance points. This is not good.
No.
And so to me, it's a wake-up call. And I'm going to say this right now. Well, obviously, LeBron James, the greatness of LeBron James and others. But the best players in the league right now, Jokic, Giannis, Embiid, reigning MVP, Luka. These are not Americans.
But
these are not Americans.
We got American citizens now, so he gonna have to play for us next year in Paris. He gonna have to play.
That's right.
You got to play. Oh, we're not gonna get to go.
That's right.
You got to play.
We're going to leave it there. You know who needs a wake-up call? All of college football. Switching over to the biggest story right now, that would be Shedeur Sanders went off in Colorado's upset win over TCU, throwing for a school record 510 yards, 4 TDs in Deion Sanders' debut as Buffalo's coach. Let's take a look at the Heisman odds. After a huge week one, Caleb Williams remains the favorite in his quest to become the second two-time winner. But after entering Saturday at 100-1 odds, Shedeur Sanders is all the way down to 25-1. Shannon, who's got the better chance at winning the Heisman?
I think Caleb Williams, because he won it last year, and everybody keeps saying this guy has some Mahomes in him, he has some Josh Allen in him. We haven't seen anything, the way he can throw the ball off platform, and his legs are unbelievable. And we're going to get an opportunity to see these kids go head-to-head, because if I'm not mistaken, I think USC goes to CU and play in about a month. So we'll get an opportunity for them to showcase their ability. And a lot of times when we saw Joe Burrow go against Tua, and he had a Heisman moment. somebody can get an opportunity to have the Heisman moment early in the season. Normally it takes place late. But I think Caleb Williams, because by all indication, everything that I've heard and heard the draft experts, he's the clear-cut #1 pick coming out next year.
A couple of things. Number one, that game is going to be in L.A., if I remember correctly.
It's going to be in L.A.?
I think so.
So that means you're going to be in L.A.
And if I'm around, if I got to check my schedule, if I'm around, I got a few connections at USC. So, we want to roll with a brother, we could do that. Okay? We can do that. That's number one. That's number one. Number two, let me tell you why, and I'm not saying I disagree with you, but let me just throw this out there. I think it's up in the air in this regard. First of all, Shedeur Sanders put the world on notice. His brother's real. And when you open your career in D1, breaking records, 510 yards passing, when you pull that off, now we got an issue. And here's where the issue comes in. Are you going to show him love because of his greatness, or are you going to hold it against him because you don't like his daddy?
Right.
It's possible. We got to be real about that. It's possible. I'm talking about if it's a tight race. They can't deny him.
But you know what else matters too, Stephen A, is just the record. And I know I brought this up in the NFL too.
But I'm making the assumption.
That's going to factor in.
I'm making the assumption. Let's just say, for example, they got similar records. They got similar stats. That's what I mean, Molly. I'm not talking about something flagrant, flagrant out. They're not going to do that to the college.
Well, the better story would be Shedeur Sanders. That's sure.
Exactly.
Of course.
And when you have Deion Sanders and you have people that surmise he might be a threat. We don't like how he's disrupting the apparatus that exists here in college football. You never know what kind of effect that could have on his son if it's nip and tuck with him and Caleb Williams. We got to be mindful that we got to keep an eye on that.
But that narrative on Deion is going to change because he's bringing all these eyeballs back to college football.
But I will say this, Stephen A. Let's just say for the sake of argument that CU can win 7 or 8 games.
I think so.
Normally we like our Heisman winners to win 10, 11, 12, 13 games.
You're right.
But you win, considering what your record was and how bad CU's been over the last 5, 6 years.
It's an outlier.
And God help him if he win 9 games.
By the way,
games.
that game's in Colorado.
Okay.
But
well,
you can figure out another one to go to.
I'm trying to go this weekend. One thing you can bet money on, I ain't going to Colorado twice. I'm not going to Colorado twice. Now, I'll go once, but I ain't going twice.
Yeah, it might be a little cold. So you're going to miss the weather. The weather be really nice. The weather should be really nice Saturday.
Well, I mean, it's a nice Saturday. I mean, if I go, I'm going to be on the sideline.
You going to be on the sideline?
We going to be on the sideline. If I go, I mean, I spoke to Prime last night. I told him what I wanted. If Colorado sits up there and says, Stephen A., we want to welcome you with open arms and your crew, and we going to be on the sidelines, or we going?
Can we start on the sideline and then go up to the box where we can eat and watch the game comfortably?
But, I mean, if you got connections to the suite, I mean,
he got a suite.
I'm not aware of that. I can ask. I can look.
Oh, I know he got one.
But
I know time. He got one.
But they could bring the food to us on the side.
I don't want to be disrespectful eating on the side.
Stephen A., that is so disrespectful. I got some chicken wings while they're out there.
I mean, anything possible.
Let's go.
Anything possible. I mean,
thanks for watching.
I know you ain't complaining. Since when do you need a sweet to eat? You'll eat anywhere.
On ESPN.
I mean, please.
I sure will. Commercial breaks. Come prepared. Be sure to check out more exclusive First Take debates on YouTube. Shannon, great having you.
Hey, man.